Hey everybody, welcome back to the nation. Let me tell you, in this one we're just tired. It's a long week. The weather played hell with us, kind of told us it wasn't coming, then it came, a little sneak attack. And then the end of the week, Saturday's work, it was literally dodging raindrops all day. I didn't get any video of that, but welcome to the night job. I guess you could say the after hours version of Sealcoat Nation. The video sucks. But you can see what we deal with, at least through this. So let's just talk through how these night jobs go a little bit. This one here was a church. I have showcased it in other videos, I'm pretty sure, with some of the patching we've done. There was an old man. He was the pastor here. He looked like he was going to start, his congregation up and everything. And all of a sudden, this year, new owners. I believe they're from India. I met the pastor, and they're keeping it a church. But they're actually seal coating it. Like, the old guy never did, and this thing hadn't been seal coated since the flood, I guess. But anyway, it was bad. A lot of grass, a lot of clumpy grass. Because in some of these jobs, when you get to the bad ones, the grass in some of the cracks is so bad that it's actually higher than the actual asphalt, and you got to dig it out with shovels and stuff. So this was one of those jobs. The owner was even pushing on me a little bit, like, why is it taking so long? But it's just one of them jobs where you have to do a sufficient job cleaning it in order for, when you seal it, for it to actually, do its job and look good and everything else. So we ended up working into the night on this one. It's a long cleaning job. There was only a few guys there. We were split crews. Another crew ended up coming, but they had a couple setbacks, so they were later getting there. It just ended up pushing the day later. And then, after all that hard work, it ended up raining that night. A storm came through at like 1 in the morning, washed damn near all of it away, but not all of it. So I was actually talking to the new owners. They said, well, what if it rains? I said, well, everything near the building's been done, so it's dry. I mean, it might wash out a little bit, but if everything else washes out, for the most part, you'll still have a nice base of seal coat that stays, and it's almost like you're getting a coat and a half. And it ended up being that way. We came back. Because of the condition of these older ones, a lot of the groundwater will actually seep through the asphalt. It's pretty porous. Plus, you can see it's just all beat up. Dirt's already kind of forming on top of it, and everything's just starting to seep through. So I told them it's going to take a few applications for this thing to be right. And there's only a few cracks in it that really are actual cracks. And so the rubber wouldn't be a lot if we did it, but he shouldn't even do rubber until we've cleaned it a few good times, seal coated a few good times, and it's got a nice base on it. In fact, when we came back the second time, we used less than half the amount of sealer. We ran, I think it was 1 full tank and then like a driveway's worth. The first time we used almost 3 full tanks. It was just that dry and that bad. One of those kind of those loser jobs where it's a loser the first time you do it, but because the customer was satisfied, super satisfied, because of how much diligence we put into it and how much we went the extra mile to make sure, even though it washed out a little bit, that it got done. And he even got a little bit extra kind of with that coat and a half action. These guys will come back. These customers will be repeat customers because they see we'll do anything to make them happy. And we will. We really will. Any of the bull crap that happens that doesn't allow us to have the job we want, we will make sure that we are able to come back and get the kind of job we want out of it, because we like our quality. At least I do. I train the guys to try to be quality. They slip a little. Hell, I slip every once in a while. But it's something that you got to try to stay on top of in this business, because it's the only thing that's going to separate you from the other guy is how good you do your work and how fast you do it. So this one, like I said, was just a beast of a job, but it really ended up turning out pretty good. So this night video is going to show you kind of what we deal with. As you can see, the lighting's just terrible. I did my best to enhance the video so you could kind of see it better. But we ended up having to pull our phones out at one point when the lights went out. And they do that sometimes. You'll be going along, you can see your footprints, and then bam, nothing. In fact, I remember a job about halfway through my career where there was pretty much no lighting. I was going off of instinct. I don't know if we left footprints or not. We never got a call back, so I guess it wasn't that bad. But I do remember, I think I was using the fence posts to try to remember where my footprints were at. Like, it was just, you have to get pretty inventive when there's no light. So that's the kind of things you deal with on jobs like this. you don't want to leave sealer in the low-lying areas, and this one was really bad, so being able to see those areas and clean them up and keep moving, it can be tough. But me and the boys pulled it off. It ended up being a long day. We ended up leaving this place around 10:30 at night. So here you go. Here's just your little taste of the kind of things that you can deal with in this industry. And to be honest, we used to do these types of jobs all the time. We used to schedule jobs for the nighttime because a lot of businesses are open so often that the only time they have for you to do it is at night. And you got to get there right away, get it done, and hopefully have it dry before they open. And of course, we try to push them, and we almost have to push them to have late starts, late openings the next day, just to make sure it's dry. I tell you, we've had some disasters, and that's one of the reasons why we don't do them anymore. We try to schedule not so tediously because it really does become an issue. So I hope you guys enjoyed the after hours edition of Sealcoat Nation. So I'm just going to leave this one be, a little music in the background. So enjoy the video, and we'll see you out on the flat black on the next edition of Sealcoat Nation.
You ready, Jose? All right, buddy.